opportunities that I had, you guys had the same thing. One of the things I always like for people to mention when they introduce me to guys like you and everybody like you is the fact that I was never drafted. Okay, I wasn't the best guy on my team. Right? I wasn't Derek Jeter. Right? I wasn't going to get that, that silver spoon, as they say. But what I did do, I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I grew up with a team called the Cincinnati Reds. I'm sure you guys all know the Reds. All right. Well, back in my day, there was a player like you guys looked up to Derek Jeter that I looked up to. His name was Pete Rose. And Pete Rose, I was really lucky because, how old are you? 10? I was by your age, and my best friend's dad was the announcer of the Cincinnati Reds. And we used to go to spring training every year with them. And I got to be a bat boy. And I got to be in the clubhouse, in the locker room, and I got to know these guys. And during those years, like you guys know the Yankees from all the World Series, the Cincinnati Reds were the big World Series team back then, right? And I got to meet these guys and really watch how they went about their work. And the one thing that I noticed about Pete Rose, who, by the way, if any of you don't know it, Pete Rose has the most hits ever in the game of baseball, okay? And one thing that I always watched with Pete was, as a kid your age, looking up to this guy, is he wasn't the best athlete on the team. He wasn't, the star player. There was guys like Ken Griffey Sr., Jr., Sr. There was, George Foster, Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan. There were some really big, great athletes on those teams. And Pete Rose wasn't one of them. But the one thing that I always remember as a kid is we used to go pick up the baseballs when they were hitting in the batting, like you guys had the batting cage here. Pete would be hitting in the batting cages, and instead of him having to pick the balls up, me and Tommy, my friend, would pick the balls up. Well, he used to do this drill every time after everybody had left for spring training. All the other players went back to the hotel. Pete stayed at the field to work on his hitting, all right? And he would go into one of those cages, and he would put the machine, the Iron Mike machine, on about 70, 75 miles an hour, not 90, because I know you guys like to hit real fast, but 70, 75 miles an hour. And he would tell Tommy and I, now I did this for 4 years, he would tell Tommy and I want you to watch when I hit. And I'm going to hit 50 balls to left field, 50 balls to center field, and 50 balls to right field. And I want you to count how many times I hit the ceiling or how many times I hit a ground ball. All right? And he told us, because we were picking the balls up, if I don't hit 40 out of 50 each way, I'll take you guys to dinner. All right? For 4 years I did this. Okay? And when he first told us that, we're like, hey, free meals, a lot of free meals. 4 years I did this. I went to dinner 5 times.